Hi, welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly, and this channel is all about teaching you how to create print-on-demand designs that sell. And be sure to stay tuned till the end of the video because I have another 5 bonus niches for you. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing something that I've gotten requests for a while now, and that is to do a complete walkthrough of how to not only create a design, but create a listing from start to finish for Etsy using Canva, and we're going to go with Printify today. So I'm going to show you from beginning to end how I would create a listing. I'm going to make it pretty simple because I don't want this to take forever. So I'm starting off on Canva. The first thing you would do would be to create your design. And I'm going to do something just super easy. But if I'm doing a t-shirt, I'm going to go to custom size. I'm going to select 4500 by 5400 pixels. That's the size that I use for t-shirts. It's the most versatile. I do all of my designs both for Etsy and for Amazon, so I want something that's going to be versatile for lots of products. So that's what I use. I also tend to optimize my designs for the darker colors in terms of clothing because, you know, the darkest colors do tend to sell best. Now, for this particular design that I was going to do, you know, you might make the argument that it would be better in a lighter color design, and that's fine, but I'm just going to go ahead and do black because for my optimizing, because that is still what sells the most. So I'm going to do one that just says Bride's Drinking Team. So real easy. It's going to be text only. I just hit T on my keyboard. I'm going to write in Brides. Make that nice and big across the top. Boom. And then hit T again for another text box. And this bottom one is going to say Drinking Team. Perfect. And we're just going to go ahead and pick some fonts. I'm going to make the top font something scripty and pretty. I think I might have done Great Vibes. That's a good scripty one. And you can just look through script fonts if you wanted to do this, but however you want. So I got my, brides. And I am careful with my centering because the S comes outside of the box here. So when I really want to center it, I want to move it over. And then I've got Drinking Team. Drinking Team, I've decided I'm going to go with all caps. I want to space the letters out a little bit more. So I'm looking at something maybe a little bit more like that. Bride's Drinking Team. So that is a super simple, easy design, text only, and yet somehow very Etsy. Bride's Drinking Team. So this would be for like, a bridal shower or, bridesmaid party thingy, bachelorette party. That's it. Losing my train of thought here. If I'm not sure, by the way, about whether or not something is trademarked, I will go over and I will go to Trademarkia. And so Trademarkia right here, I can do free trademark search. And I could go ahead and type in Bride's Drinking Team and see if it is an issue here. So I can see Bride's Drinking Team was trademarked, but it is now dead. It has been dead since 2017. So it is free to use. And so you can scroll down. Veteran Drinking Team, that's live. Arizona Drinking Team, that's live. But Bride's Drinking Team, dead and abandoned. So we are free to use that. So right back over to my Canva. I am ready to export this. So I'm going to go share, download. I want it to be a PNG. I'm going to leave the size alone. I want it to be a transparent background, and I'm going to hit download. Now, once I download it, I'm also going to upload it. So I'm going to go to uploads, upload files, and I'm going to go ahead and upload it so that it's on the side here because I'm going to use this for my mockups. So I want to make sure I've got this. It's ready for my mockups. And now I can close this. And so now I've jumped over to Printify, and here's where we're going to go ahead and start the listing. So I'm going to go to catalog, and we are going to be going for clothing. It doesn't matter. Obviously, this is going to be women's, so women's t-shirts. I can click here. And the popular ones that people tend to use is either the Gildan, the Comfort Colors, or the Bella Canvas. Those are the 3 most common ones. So depending on whether or not you want to go something cheap or you want to go something a little bit more expensive, for this one, I'm probably going to go with the Gildan. It is the cheapest And bride's drinking team being a shirt that somebody's going to wear once and then never wear again, they probably don't want to have to spend a ton of money on it. So it just sort of depends. If it was something more of an evergreen that I thought people might wear over and over again, then I might lean towards one of the more expensive ones, or like the comfort color ones. Obviously, it also depends on what kind of colors I want it on. If I want like a big variety of more muted colors, then maybe the comfort colors. But if I want it just strictly on black, then, you know, the Gildan is going to be kind of the way to go. But again, you guys can decide exactly what it is that you want. I'm going to make it real simple. We are going to go with the Gildan. And so, but you can see as you look down here, there's a whole bunch of different colors here. So I'm looking for the Gildan 64,000. So 1 second here. Gildan 64,000. So that's the 500, not necessarily that one. That's the comfort colors, the Bella canvas. Here it is, Gildan 64,000. So this is the one I'm looking for. It tends to have the cheapest price point. So right here, I can get it for $7.91 for the cheapest. And then obviously, if I just do the US shipping, it's going to be $3.99. Or if I do the cheap one, it can be even cheaper. But so let's go ahead and start designing. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit explore by myself, and got it. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to hit the edit tools. So that's a little cross thing. Select variants. So right now it's on white. I don't want white because I did white text. So I'm going to go with black. And I might just go for black for this one because this doesn't feel like one where I'd have it on a bunch of different colors. Which is good because there's not a ton of colors available, but this does seem like one that I might just do on black. Unless I had black text, then I might just do it on white, and so on and so forth. But the bride would wear white. The bride's drinking team, they might want to wear black. So if you did this, you might have like a shirt that said bride and that's in white, and then the drinking team, they can wear black. So that's how I have this here. So then we're going to go to upload, and I'm going to go from my devices. It's going to pull up my downloads, and I can select my bride file. So far, so easy. It's got it there. I can go ahead and always look at the preview, make sure that that looks nice. Bride's drinking team. Pretty straightforward. Everything looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and go to save product. Now, here's where you can pick mockups. Now, I don't particularly care because I'm going to make my own mockups. To me, none of these particularly look that great. I'm not really seeing myself wanting to put up any of these because it's just kind of better to do your own. There is the size chart, but I'm going to use my own size chart. So really, I don't care about the mockup. So I'm just going to go save selection and keep going. And I'm going to show you how to make the mockups. So here it is. There's your primary. Here's your listing details. So now you can go ahead and go with bride's drinking team t-shirt, bachelorette party tee. And so it's gone ahead and given, you know, the optimized title for Etsy. So you can go with that. You can make your own bride's drinking team t-shirt, bachelorette party tee, bachelorette party. I can do matching group. Matching group tee, I might do that. And then, of course, we've got their description, lightweight, soft, yada, yada, yada. Groups heading out for celebrations, da, 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 da. You got your product features. Okay. So some of these I wouldn't include. So things like sleeve and inner neck prints available. Well, since I'm not really doing that, I don't really care, but I might do this and just have it say durable direct-to-garment front print for crisp script, personalized tearaway labor, ethically sourced. I can do that. Ribbed collar, tubular knit, da 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 da. So that all looks good. Care instructions are on there, so I would go with all of that. That all looks fine. If I'm going to try to sell this in the EU, and this is one that might work for the EU because it's not necessarily specific to any country, I can go ahead and add this in, and so that's fine too. Then we've got tags, and they go ahead and, you know, give you some tags that they think might look good, like a bachelorette tee, bride squad, bridal party, bridal t-shirt, team bride, okay, bachelorette gift, hen party tee, bridal shower, wedding weekend, party t-shirt, girls night, drinking team, bridal crew. We'll just use all of those. That's fine. Okay. Personalization, you can add it here or someplace else if you wanted to add it. I'm not going to do it for this listing, so I wanted to keep this easy. You're saving time and money with global fulfillment, right? So standard global fulfillment is $4.75, 2 to 5 business days. International delivery is obviously a lot longer, or you can do the economy just to the United States. But because I'm selling this worldwide, I might just keep it here. Then we can come down to pricing. Now it likes to optimize prices. So for example, it's telling you that most of them are going to sell somewhere between $22 and $25. So here it says price might be too low if you sell it for $17.30 to $19. So it's telling you to sell it somewhere in this range, right? Now, this is the cool thing about Printify that none of the other companies do, is they really break down the pricing chart for you so you can see, you know, what their price is, your profit margin, all of that. So they do like, oh, if you do the 40% profit margin and this is the retail price, you know, you can sell it relatively cheaply. They're telling you to try to sell it even more than that. You know, they'll break down the Etsy fee for you, the shipping cost, all of that. That's pretty cool. Now, what I'll tend to do is I did make my own pricing sheet for all the products that I sell, and I do have a video on that if you didn't see it. But real quick, this is my pricing sheet, and so I've got lots of things here. So I've got all the products I sell and the different platforms and the prices and all of that. So if I was going to go towards my basic Gildan 64, it's supposed to be 64,000, but I put 6,400. On Printful, I've got my cost and my shipping costs, and it costs me $13.14. I'm using Printify, so it's a little bit different, but more or less the same. I'm saying sell it at $22.99 with free shipping. That's what I have calculated. That way, should I put it on sale, I can sell it on sale for $18.39 and still make a profit. So my base price would be $22.99 for all of my Gildans. So if I'm going to come back here, I'll say, okay, let's do that. Let's make the retail price $22.99. And I'm going to do that for pretty much all of the ones that are the same price, $22.99, the large, $22.99, extra large would also be $22.99. Once you get to the 2XL, it's a little bit more expensive. So the 2XL, I could just go ahead and do this and put 52 there, since the profit margin is 52 on this. And so that would be $25.58 for that. $25.58. I might go with $24.99 because I like the even prices there. And so let's say I'm going to price it that way. So that is my full priced one, $22.99, which, by the way, if I was to go back, that's about what they wanted you to price it at anyways. You show in-stock variants and hide any out-of-stock variants, or you can do in-stock variants and out-of-stock. Sold out. Well, I don't foresee us selling out, but I would pick that one. Mockups and tags, perfect. And I'm going to hit publish. So now this is going to publish it to my Etsy shop. Now, while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to Canva, and I'm going to start working on some mockups. So I'm back over to my Canva section, and now I have on my Canva section a list of mockups. And so here I have a whole ton of mockups that I have saved, something like 230 something, right? Sorry. 336 pages of mockups that I've managed to save. And so it started off with basic size charts that I tried to make myself that weren't very good. Obviously, I've gotten better as the years have gone by. Some different mockups that I've tried to make for holidays. More recently, I've been doing these flat ones. I like the flat ones a lot better. Now, these are all my Gildan mockups. So these are all for Gildan. I've got Gildan size charts. I've got Gildan mockups with the models. And so this is where I'm kind of starting. I've got some of those. So I'm looking for mockups for the bride, and it's only in black. So we're going to start with just a regular black mockup. So here we go, black. And I just move the design out of the way, go to my uploads, pull up my bride's drinking team. See how easy this is? And boom, just like that, I would have mockup, bride's drinking team. And now I could do things, because this is specific to being a bride, and I could add some stuff in here that looks more like bridal flowers or whatnot if I wanted to. These ones I have with all the different colors, and I've got my logo on them here, so that when I put up a lot this way, I get all of the logos and everything, and that's how I have this particular style done. But if I was going to do more of like a bride one, I could go over to Elements, and I could go over to, they've redone this by the way, Photos, and I could do like bridal flowers and see what happens. All sorts of pretty bridal flower thingies. So here's just some like angled ones. I don't know if I can get a sharp edge off of that. Some other ones, because I can do a background remover and try to get, you know, some of these like angled in the corner here or something. I mean, for example, if you wanted to put just like little things here and there or any kind of bridal decorations, but bride's drinking team, you know, something like that. So let's go ahead and put bride's drinking team, and I'm going to go ahead, hit share, download, doesn't need to be a transparent background, sorry, just a PNG as is. I just need to pick the right page. So current page is page 57, and we will download that. And then I can go back up to my grid view. I can look for some more. So I've got, here's another one where they're wearing the black. Do I have any other ones with black that look good? Bride's drinking team is going to want to be a female in black. And quite frankly, I think that the one I had there is probably the best for female in black. Maybe this one. Get rid of that. Go back to uploads, bride's drinking team. Oops. And then title. Bride's drinking team, boom, share, download, current, done. Now, if I had this in lots of colors, I would do this for all of the colors. So obviously I would have mock-ups for every color, mock-ups with people wearing it, and flat mock-ups. You can always go buy new mock-ups too. So I don't have any bridal stuff, which is why I don't have any bridal mock-ups right now. But if I was to start selling a bunch of bridal things, I would want to start having a bunch of bridal mock-ups. And I could totally do that pretty easily, by the way, by going to Etsy and looking for bridal mock-ups. So I just jumped over on Etsy, put bridal mock-up on here, and look what you got. You've got bride, and one could say bride, and these could be bride's drinking team, and that's where you could put your bride's drinking team mock-ups. So you could certainly find bridal mock-ups in here, and I just went pretty general, but I could put here's another one, bachelorette party mock-ups. I could do that. That would probably be better. I could do, let's go with bachelorette shirt mock-up and see if they've got any good shirt mock-ups for bachelorette parties. And sometimes they will for certain things. Bachelorette shirt mock-ups here. So there is a bundle. And so it's going to have different groups there. You got group ones, and I can just do group in black, but here's one with the black and the white. So that could be a cool mock-up. Here's one with the black and the white. That could be cool mock-up. So again, I tend to do the white for the bride and then the black for the, you know, group. Here's another one where you could do it in the group, or this one said bride and this one say bride's drinking team. So you can see I can look, and I could probably get a bunch of cool mock-ups, like group mock-ups that I could do and add in here. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want this to take forever, but I just want to show you that that's how you could do it. Okay. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and go over to my Etsy shop real quick. And I'm on my listings here. Let me go to draft. So it's in the active section right here. So in the active section of my listings, I see it's come up here. So I'm just on the listing section, and I'm going to open up this listing. So it's gone ahead and it's put the bride's drinking team, and it's only got the one photo. This is where I upload my photos. So I click here, and I would go ahead and upload my bride's drinking team mock-ups here. And I'd get rid of this one I don't want that one at all. So there I've got mockup, mockup, and now I need a size guide. Now I've already bought a size guide, so I can go ahead and just look for my Gildan size guide. So I have, any of these would work. So for example, there's a Gildan size chart. I always put up a review card, so I have my own review card that I've made. Reviewed card. See, it's my review card. I also, by the way, for the Gildan, I have a fit guide. So my fit guide, and I purchased that too. So it's going to show the different fits of the shirt. So similar to the size guide, but it's going to give you the fit. And then I always have my branding card. So this is just how you would go ahead and put up, again, your listings. And you can have up to 20 pictures now. So you can do a bunch. I'm only doing this in one color. But if I was doing it in other colors, obviously I would have, listing for another color, listing for another color, listing for another color. And so I could take up a lot of different colors. If I was going to do this and really push for the bride theme stuff, I'd probably come up with some group shirts. I'd probably get a group mock-up, maybe something that looks a little bit more, wedding-ish or bridal shower-ish or bachelorette party-ish. But I'm just going to show you this for now so you guys get the idea. So there is my main mockup, and I can switch these two. So let's say I wanted that to be my main mockup, I could do that. So obviously pick whichever one you think is going to look best as the main mockup, and then make sure that you've got your cards in whatever order you want. So drag them around, crop them however you need to get them the way that you want them. Then we've got our description here. Now, I always add to the description, so that's a good start how it is, but I go ahead and add stuff to it. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump back over to my shop. So while I've got this up, I'm going to come here. I'm going to go back over to my shop manager. I'm going to go back to my listings. I'm going to go to one of my other listings, and I just do a little copy and paste. So you can see one of my other listings here. And I'm going to scroll down. And I'm going to include probably, I might just redo this whole thing because this is also a Gildan. So I might even just replace all of that and do this. And just go ahead and copy that. Copy. And I can go to my new listing. And do this. Oops, except I don't want to get rid of the EU stuff, but then I can hit Control V and paste it in there. And so now you can see from the top here, I've got a description that that Printful came up with, or Printify came up with, and then a product features section, and it goes over that it's cotton, sports gray, dark heather, so the blend of fabric, the fabric weight, the fit, the construction, the taping, quarter turns. It talks about Gildan, known for its genuine responsibility program, which focuses on producing garments with renewable energy and less water than the industry average. That I use direct to garment printing. I say, please see size chart and photos to determine the best fit. Note these are unisex sizes. I have the care instructions here. I've got something about delivery time. Please note this product is made especially for you as soon as you place an order, which is why it takes us a bit longer to deliver it to you. Making products on demand instead of in bulk helps reduce overproduction. So thank you for making thoughtful purchasing decisions. Then I have the return policy here. We want you to be completely satisfied. So it says, since the products are made on demand, we accept returns only if it is damaged upon arrival or the wrong item was sent. In this case, we'll be happy to provide a replacement at no cost or refund your order. Please contact us within 7 days of receiving the order with photos of the damaged or incorrect item, and we'll resolve the issue quickly. At Therapy Designs, we're passionate about creating unique, high-quality designs and products that let you express your personality and style and showcase what's important to you. Blah, 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 blah. If you have any questions or assistance, feel free to contact us. We're here to help. Message me for custom designs or gifts, Kelly at Therapy Designs. And then I've got the EU stuff at the very bottom. So it's a nice long description here that kind of covers everything. So we'll just keep scrolling down. If I wanted to add personalization, I would do this, and that's where I would put in the instructions. I'm not doing personalization for this. I can scroll down. It's already got my prices in here. If I needed to change that, I can change it here. I can scroll down. Category, it is under t-shirts, materials. So if I wanted to put like cotton, I could be specific. I don't necessarily need to because it's already all over everything, but it is cotton shirts. Primary color, well, the color is black for this one. Size, sustainability, show attributes, it's short sleeve, right? Neckline on this one is crew. Occasion, bachelorette party, so I could do that. Graphic, this would be like a funny saying. So what do I got? I got humorous saying is probably the best one, right? Phrase and saying, yeah, phrase saying. Superhero, TV travel, so it depends on what you want here, but let's just go with humorous saying, right? I've got my tags here. I could change any of these if I want to, but it looks good. Bachelorette tea, bride squad, bridal party, bridal shirt. So these are all good tags. Again, it's made to order 3 to 5 days. Here I've got my standard, shirt. I'm going to edit this because I do this with free shipping. So just for the United States, 0.00 for the United States, because I have factored that into my price for the US. But keep in mind, shipping to other countries can be a lot more expensive, right? So some of them are, not too bad. Some of them, like Australia, shipping's way up there. It says you're charging too much for shipping, but that's how much it costs to ship there. Canada is another one that's usually pretty expensive for shipping. Most of these are pretty low. Canada, $6.79. Croatia, right? So $6.19 to Denmark. So that's why I don't offer free shipping for all of them, because the shipping varies country to country, but I do offer free shipping in the United States. So I just make that clear. Ooh, they can ship all over the place. Save and apply to that one listing there, right? I put the return policy, return only in 30 days. I'm going to change that to no returns or exchanges, right? Shop section. If you had a section for bridal stuff, you would put it there. I really don't. This is just an example, so I'm just going to put it in my random section. And I can do this because it only costs 20 cents to try out a new design, so why not? And then I can hit publish changes. And boom, just like that, it's there. Now I can go to my shop and see if it's showed up yet. So I'm on my shop page here. I have my featured items at the top. I've got all of my stuff here. I'm going to move it because it's throwing off the whole organization of my shop because it automatically puts it at the top. But there it is. There is the listing. And so now I open the listing and you can see just like that. So my mock-ups, I've got a size chart, I've got a fit guide, I've got a review card, I've got a branding card. I could add a card about like care instructions. I haven't made one yet, but a lot of people do have care instruction cards, and I could do that. I could also do a card about return policies. I don't have a card for that yet, but that's another thing that you could add. Those are things that are currently in my description, but again, those would be cool things to add. I don't necessarily want to have more cards with words than I have cards with pictures, and because I've only got pretty much one option here, I don't want to throw a whole bunch of other cards in here, but for some other listings, I'm definitely planning on putting some of those cards up. But anyway, so there you go. So then you can pick your size. It's only available in one color, pretty straightforward, $22.99, free shipping. And nothing has been reviewed on this yet, but there you go. And then it'll show other things from the shop because I don't have any other bridal things. There's nothing down here for bridal stuff. So you always want to have several listings in the same group. So if you're going to put up bridal stuff, you should probably put up at least 4 or 5 bridal things. That way, when you go down to more from the shop, you'll see other options from the shop related to that product. Otherwise, you're just getting random products that aren't related to that product at all. And then you could scroll down and see, other people's stuff, right? So anyways, that was a long video because I did want to show you again from beginning to end how you would create a design, from making the design, uploading the design, making the listing, making the mock-ups, optimizing your listing, your descriptions, everything. So I hope this answered any questions you might have. Obviously, this changes from platform to platform and product to product, and the mock-ups will change product to product. But hopefully that gives you a really good idea of how it's done. And keep in mind, you can always buy mock-ups on Etsy for different products too. So if there's a mock-up that you really want, you can, go ahead, and I'm sure you could find one already made. Matter of fact, I'm sure I could find a care instructions card already made for a Gildan shirt that I could just buy and put up. And since I'm thinking about that right now, let me see. Let me get rid of this. Let me go, yeah. I'm testing my theory now. Let's go with Gildan, 64,000. Let's go with care instructions. Let's see if it works. Because I know they've got lots of like fit guides and the regular mock-ups. Do they have a care instruction? They do. They have a video one with has features. So that's cool. It's not exactly how I would like it, but there's one. Here's one that says washing and care guide. Wash with light colors, wash warm temp, tumble dry medium, don't bleach, do not iron or dry clean. So there's an example of one that you could buy. Size and care instructions, different size charts. It might be easier to just sort of make your own. Another one with care instructions, especially if you're going to do branding stuff. I'd probably just make my own, but you could certainly try to buy some of these. So, other ones, other size charts. I'd probably just go ahead and make my own, especially since I tend to, as I'm coming back over to my listing, I tend to like mine to all kind of copy that same branding. So if I'm going to do it, I want it to have the same feel. Probably I would do it something in like these colors so that it goes with my shop and it keeps the same colors, because I do want to keep the branding somewhat consistent. Sometimes I'll buy pre-made ones and then I can just, kind of use part of it or change the color. This, for example, here, my size chart, I could go ahead and probably do something to just change these colors to look a little bit more. I could change the text color, for example, and make it match my colors a little bit better. So there's things even I could do that I could still be working on to kind of optimize that. Anyways, I know I've rambled for a long time. And because you guys were so patient and you did wait until the end of the video, I do, by the way, have another 5 bonus niches for you. But before I say that, again, if you have any questions, drop it in the comments section below. I try to get back to everybody as quickly as I can. I do read all the comments, and thank you so much for your kind words. And if you have video requests, you can throw those in the comment section below, and I'll see if I can get you added to my list. I've also started doing Etsy shop reviews, and I've gotten several emails from people. If you want your shop reviewed, you can go ahead and email me. I do have my email address in the description under each video, so you can email me if you want me to take a look at your shop. Other than that, okay, let's go ahead and do the bonuses. All right, so without any more waiting, these are going to be your 5 bonus niches. And since we did the bride's drinking team, why not do some drinking niches? So number 1, emotional support drinking buddy, do not pet. Number 2, this is my beer drinking shirt. Number 3, looks like I may accidentally get drunk on purpose today. Number 4, in dog beers, I've only had one. And number 5, I was told there would be drinking. Whether or not you support drinking is a pretty popular topic for t-shirts because it tends to be funny, and it is year-round, so it is an evergreen, and it is one that works well on both men's shirts and women's shirts, and especially on Amazon. I don't think you're allowed to advertise for drinking shirts, which means that you have a better shot of selling on Amazon because you're not having to fight other people with ads for drinking designs. So most of my designs, I think on Amazon, I'd say the majority have something to do with drinking. So that is always a really good niche that you can find lots of ways to incorporate and cross niche with just about anything. And so with that said, I hope you guys are doing well, and I do hope to see you guys again. That's it for today's video. If you found that useful and would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe. And turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.